time of the week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jacob.
Gun to your head. What's the Mount Rushmore of comic book characters? There's a right answer, and then everything else is wrong.
Is there a right answer to this question?
No, there's a right answer.
Mount Rushmore of comics.
Which means four, not comics, comic book characters.
Oh, damn, dude.
Comic book characters.
And
there's
he's
like
up there. I know that.
Yeah, that's one.
Batman, he's up there.
That's two.
Superman, definitely.
That's three.
Okay. Oh, number four. Oh, baby. Oh, man. I'm going between two characters. I got either Iron Man.
No, fuck no.
Or the Hulk.
Iron Man is dog shit, bro.
Or the Hulk. Because I feel like he's pretty popular too.
Nope.
But, I guess Wolverine would probably be up there too. That's three.
Nope. I'll give you a hint. It's a DC character.
I figured it had to be equal. Yeah. So
Superman, no. What do you mean equal?
Batman,
it's three DC and one Marvel.
Not Wonder Woman, right? Would it be Wonder Woman?
Yes, absolutely Wonder Woman.
I guess she's pretty popular. Yeah, I guess people.
The like Trinity. Her. The irony. Okay, first, like I know that you love Iron Man, right? But the thing is, no, you love Iron Man. But the thing is like, you got to understand before Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man movie, like he's a B tier character. The Avengers were not taken seriously for ever until the MCU. Now the MCU makes all of those characters an A plus like characters because they didn't have the rights to Spider-Man or X-Men or Fantastic Four, right? Now they do. But the whole point of that is like, and the irony behind it is that one would argue that Marvel is more popular in the zeitgeist, right? But three of the most important characters out of the four are DC characters. Because DC for the longest time was like, I mean, global. Like you got to understand, it's like you have to the longevity. It helps that like all four of those characters have been around for a really long time. But you mean there's been like, fucking 10 Spider-Man movies, like 12 Batman movies, like 9 Superman movies, and obviously Wonder Woman like most recently got the movie, but Wonder Woman being like the first real super like hero that was a woman. You had the show in the 70s with Linda Carter and stuff, but it's just wild how, because you look through it through the prism of like, well, DCU sucks, blah blah blah, Batman, super, like, and like they're sort of getting back to that idea where like they're trying to get the foundational, because Batman, I would argue that if you wanted to eliminate two, you eliminate Superman and Wonder Woman, and the two most popular characters in the world are Batman and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Which is like it's crazy, but
I just feel like Batman though, it really just depends on what kind.
He's been
of
around
Batman
almost 100 years, man.
Like, because I mean, arguably like the Dark Knight franchise, that was a good Batman. Christian Bale did a pretty decent job.
Well, you're looking at it through the realm, like through the prism of movies, though.
I'm thinking about like, just talking like strictly movies. But then you get like Ben Affleck Batman, which is like, he's all right, I guess. So yeah, those movies kind of flopped. But
the movies are whatever to me. Like they're not important. They're more of like branches of a tree rather than like the actual roots of the tree.
And Batman, and he did a phenomenal job. So,
but I mean, even then, if you go back further, because like in the 90s, where I grew up consuming comics media, like you have X-Men, but more importantly you have Batman the animated series, which is still considered like one of the greatest like superhero representations ever, and then Spider-Man the animated series, and then X-Men. So like it's just weird how people also forget, well, I mean, I wasn't around, but people seem to gloss over the importance of the Dark Knight Returns. And because up until that point, comics were for, and by and large, geared towards children. That's what comic books were for. And so like if you were an adult reading comics, people would kind of look at you like a certain way.
You're a nerd.
Yeah, super hardcore. But I mean, again, they were for children, but it wasn't until Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns where and then Batman was very Adam West, campy, like tonally just
Like
different.
the like very
Like
70s retro
like and
vibes. Yeah.
I do not like that version of Batman. I just I don't
Yeah.
like it.
It
I've
kind of
never liked the
sucks.
Adam West. Well, I mean, some people do. Some people love that Batman, and that's fine.
Those people suck
But
too.
to me, Batman as a character should be a very dark and brooding character, and kind of like emotional and emo because
Did the original
his
Batman lose his parents?
yeah,
Like Adam West Batman, he was running around in his
yeah.
underwear and like I guess theoretically speaking, like yeah, if I
I mean,
lost my parents,
that's
I'd
how
probably.
he gets all the money.
I guess if like I had seen
Where's
my
the money?
parents get murdered in front of me, I too would like go crazy to the point where I'm running around in my underwear fighting, people for justice, So
Yeah, I mean, and it, the Dark Knight Returns was sort of ushered in the beginning of what the adults reading comics, because the Dark Knight Returns is not a book for children. And people, I bring all this up
yeah,
because there's a retroactive. Well, the Dark Knight Returns is not that great, and it's just like it doesn't really matter. It's one of those. It's the Beatles thing, right? No one our age likes the Beatles. We also think, oh, the Beatles are whatever, but the impact that the Beatles had on the music industry is undeniable.
yeah, because I mean, I guess it's too we weren't alive back whenever like they were doing those kind of things.
Beatlemania, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
like when they were like changing the face of music as a whole.
It's this Hulk Hogan thing too. Like we talked about Hulk Hogan like 2 weeks ago. Like
Yeah,
he's a bigot and like kind of like a not a great person, but what he did for pro wrestling
yeah,
is undeniable. You know what I mean?
yeah, and
And
it's. I think that that's the problem too. Is that time just ruins everybody because you think about like, and she's not a good person whatsoever. But like J.K. Rowling and like the Harry Potter universe,
sure,
and like back whenever she wasn't
bad
a
people make cool
transphobe,
shit all the time.
turf or whatever the hell they call her. Like she was a piece. Like we turned out she'd be a piece of shit. But like the world that she built early on was like really helpful for a lot of people, and a lot of people were able to escape to that place. And so like but then I mean, it just fucking sucks.
But the whole
People just
this
suck.
there's this movement on social media. It's even on Blue Sky where people are trying to discredit the impact that the Dark Knight Returns had on the comics industry. Like, well, you go back, it's dated, it doesn't. It's like, okay, it's like a 40-year-old comic book,
Yeah.
but at the time, again, it was like we sort of have lived in this era of like the Watchmen and V for Vendetta and the Dark Knight Returns, and like we live in this golden age, if you will, of like stuff that is geared towards adults. Yes, comics are still for children, but when you go to a comic book store, it's mostly geared towards adults. And I don't mean like adults in the sense
No,
that
it's
like
geared to the
there's
kids who grew up reading the comics. Like
Yes.
it's like Legos nowadays, where they were originally marketed to us as kids, but then they're like,
Mhm.
oh, those kids are still willing to play with these Legos if they're
And
a
it
little
was
more adult,
that's the one mistake that the MCU has made, and it was a gigantic mistake along the way, is it did not grow with its audience. And it's not to say that it should, it's just you go back 10 years ago and the MCU is the hottest thing on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And like it has fizzled, and I don't think anyone really, I'd say anyone, obviously that's hyperbole, gives a shit anymore. Like
Yeah.
our entire friends group, like it's died, dude. Like I
just-
know
I
people
don't
went and
have
saw
any-
Fantastic Four, but
Like,
it's
they said it's good.
I think
so,
people misunderstand when you say not made for adults, because people think that you need full penetration, you need tits, you need gratuitous violence, and that's not what I consider adults.
No, because
I
like,
just
we got porn for that, so it's not.
well, I think
yeah.
thematically, just like what kind of story is being told, like you have to sugarcoat a lot of stuff for children, right? But
Yeah.
like I mean, like heavy things that adults deal with that children don't deal with, I think is a big part of what is sort of missing. And it's like, well, they don't make movies for adults anymore. Okay, yeah, they don't, right? Because at the end of the day, children are the
A bigger
primary
market.
target.
They're definitely a bigger market. So
Yes and no, they are, but like, who do you think pays for the children to go in there? Like adult collectibles, man. Like it's crazy how
I feel like
what
I'm just thinking about. You just kind of like I don't know. You sparked a thought in my brain. It's that like.
Mhm.
Do you think like this whole global conglomerate of corporations is like really gearing things towards kids and like the manipulation of kids because they know that like parents will do anything for their kids, and so like they'll spend any kind of money on their kids, but if their kids are like so wrapped around the fact and like broken the algorithm for kids, right? So they know what like triggers that switch in the back of kids' heads. That is like, I want that, right? It's just like lots of different sounds and colors and stuff. And so like they've marketed everything towards kids because they know that we will be like, because that's where the money is, because parents are going to spend that money. And then it's like, that's why nothing's made for us, is because we're too busy spending money on our kids. And then they want us to have more kids, so that way more parents will be out there willing to spend money on the kids. So it's like,
I mean, that's part of the equation, but I don't think that
like
is
a big funnel, right?
Yeah, but that's not new though. I just think that, again, I can only speak to my experience. All right. And there is something not weird in a bad way, but weird in a different way, to where like never has it been more accepted for people our age to collect toys, to collect comics, to collect statues, to collect and read manga and anime, like all that stuff. Because like if you take that 30 years ago, like if you were still an adult playing video games at 25, you were a fucking gigantic loser. But now like that's accepted.
Living
like
at home,
that's
with your
what
mom in her basement,
right. Like, but the entire toy market itself, like there was the I think we talked about it, I don't know, like 6-7 months ago, but like they did a thing where obviously kids are, it was like Christmas, I think, last year.
Yeah, probably so.
There was, or the entire toy industry has shifted post COVID, because that's when toy companies were like, oh, like those kids that collected, because nostalgia is huge.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah,
a huge market
as well.
because
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like those kids of the 80s and 90s didn't have the disposable money, but now they have fun money, and they're going to try to recapture that essence of like what their childhood was. So that's why you see tons and tons and tons of like collectibles now that are literally like remakes of like stuff that they had when they were children. Like the Turtles were huge on that right now. Now like Power Rangers is back on shelves. Like all this shit.
It's in Fortnite now.
Well, there's that's for the kids though. That's for the kids. But like you imagine you grow up in the 90s and like, you know, I had some of those Power Rangers. They had the head flipping thing. You know, you hit the button on the back and their head flips. They're back. Like they're back. They remade those and they're back in stores. I saw them at Walmart. And it's like,
I got a bit of real quick. I've got a bit of a hot take.
Okay.
Power Rangers suck. I'm sorry.
I mean, okay, yes.
They're garbage. I apologize. I don't understand the hype. I don't understand like, people's love of it. Like anytime you cut somebody, they explode.
Counterpoint.
Like that's not how it works. Like the acting is atrocious. Okay, I'm sorry. I hate to be this person, but if I get canceled for this, so be it. But I think Power Rangers suck. I said it. I'm sorry.
Counterpoint / I'm going to piggyback off that. That's exactly how I feel about Pokemon.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. And
I think it is. I think it is an objective look at Pokemon, dumb.
Like it is dumb. It's if you're in it for the cards, I get it. But then again, it's like there's no card game anymore. If there is, I don't hear. I think playing the card game anymore. It's just collectibles,
dude.
So it's
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just. I don't disagree with you, because like I had Power Rangers and I watched Power Rangers, but I have no nostalgia for Power Rangers. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The only cool thing was the Gundam that they built whenever they all came together. Like that's the only cool part about Power Rangers. And it's like even the Gundam.
But again, that's another one of those things that's absolutely undeniable, the effect that it had in the mid 90s on children.
And I get kids had no taste
back
then, but it's whatever.
Dude, they have no taste now. Skibidi Toilet and Fortnite, bro. Like that's some of the worst things ever created.
There's a story in Skibidi Toilet. Don't you even dare, okay, man? There's more acting that goes into Skibidi Toilet than there ever was in an episode of Power Rangers. I'll say it. Damn, I'm going hard on Power Rangers. I'm sorry. I don't have anything against them. It's just like I don't understand the hype. And I don't.
I guess because it's in Fortnite.
That's the only reason that like, I'm talking about it now. Is because I can know that it's in Fortnite. But it's like I don't.
It's off-brand Gundam, basically.
Not even because. No, because
I think it came from Sabian.
Like
Sabian. I don't know.
I think the Power Rangers was originally like from a different country, right?
Yeah, it was, and it came over, and it came over here. But then, like,
the best is because like we had to like.
But it does. But it didn't matter. That's the thing is, it didn't matter. None of that shit matters. Kids cartoons doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. It captures and encapsulates like children, and then like, you know, we talked about it. I think like a month or so ago, where I'm curious to see what Zoe holds nostalgia for in 15 years. What your children are going to be nostalgic for Fortnite. By that time, Fortnite 2 is probably going to come out. It'll still
be Fortnite, man.
I felt like Fortnite is going to do what Hunt Showdown did.
It's like Fortnite 2.0.
It's going to evolve,
It
and
did
they're going to have
already,
like.
'cause that's like
I
what the
mean, I
whole
know,
engine
but
upgrade
I mean,
was, yeah.
full blown, like it's going, because at eventual point it's going to hit like, oh my god, this looks dated, this looks old, oh my god, it'll be like, kids 15 years from now are gonna, and who's to say what the video game industry is going to be. I don't think, I think
I
you're,
don't know how it gets any better, like graphics wise. Like I don't
I
know
think
how things get better looking. I don't know.
the
But
VR is good. They're going to keep pushing VR, and it's just, I don't think it's ever going to take off like they want it to.
not until you get full haptic suits. Like there's not really,
I just,
you know.
I mean, who's to say
There
what
are
happens?
haptic suits, but like they have to be like legitimate. Like everybody can afford them. Haptic suits that like but
Right. All that to say is, like, there's this movie,
Okay.
right? There's this movie coming out. Tentative release is 2115.
that's a long time from now, buddy. That's like 90 years from now. If
It's
my math
100
is,
years. Yeah.
my math is correct.
Yeah, 90 years. So okay. So it is. I'll give you the synopsis.
Okay.
It has John Malkovich in it.
Who's that?
You know John Malkovich.
I probably
Just
do,
if
but I
you
don't.
if you Google his face, you'll be like, I've seen that guy.
Okay, let me Google his face.
He was in
John.
Con Air.
Okay, I've seen bits and pieces of Con Air. John Mount. Okay, there he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's called 100 Years, and it is currently an unreleased experimental science fiction short film written and starring John Malkovich and directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Okay.
It was produced by a French company to promote their cognac. How do you say that? Cognac? Is that right?
Cognac.
Cognac. There we go. You can tell I don't drink.
It's the okay. I didn't know if it was the alcohol. Yeah, it's cognac.
I think so. Yeah, and it takes 100 years to create this beverage. And the movie has been filmed, it's done, everything else, and it's locked away in a safe for a century. Advertised in 2015 with the tagline, "The movie that you will never see." It is scheduled to be released in November of 2115. Your face.
I'm just not impressed. It just sounds like these rich.
The
pompous
premise,
assholes.
okay.
That's
So
all.
the
Yeah.
premise is 100 Years is apparently a short film. I was making several short films, and then I finished the first one. We shot that first one and thought it was going to be a commercial or something. And then I showed them the movie, and they said, "Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's the one we lock away." And I said, "What?" And it's like, "That's the one you lock away. What about the other one with the future?" I mean, it's just like, okay, cool, right?
Yeah, a short film. Cool. I'm gonna wait 100 years to see a short film. Yeah. No thanks.
And obviously, everyone involved will be dead.
Is it about
everyone-
the alcohol? Is that what it's about?
It
He says it's a
doesn't.
commercial.
The details of the film have been kept highly secret, but the names of the 4 actors have been released: Shuya Chang, John Malkovich, Gideon Manlulu, and Marcor
The film was
Zoror.
produced by the French company Remy Martin, which you've already said, to promote Louis the Eighth. Is that X123? Is that 10?
13.
Promote Louis 13. Their cognac that takes 100 years. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're just
So-
gonna wait around for 100 years for this ad for a cognac that'll be aged 100 years. But it's
Pending release, the film is being kept in a high-tech safe behind a bulletproof glass. Uh-oh.
let's quit.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Let's quit calling it.
What is going on?
Let's quit calling it a movie. First of all, it's a commercial. It's a 100-year commercial.
Don't you love when it like
it's just automatic? Like it's
everything just closed? Pending release, the film is being kept in a high-tech safe behind bulletproof glass that will open automatically on the day of the film's premiere. 1,000 guests from around the world, including Malkovich and Rodriguez, have received a pair of invitation tickets made of metal for the premiere, which they can then hand down to their descendants. The safe in which 100 Years is kept was showcased at the 2016 Cannes Film Festival and other cities. And it's just like, dude,
You know what I don't give a shit about? This commercial.
this.
Yeah. Because it's like if ever I felt like the fear of FOMO.
If ever
I had FOMO, it's not for this. That's for sure. I don't give a damn, dude.
But like, okay, let's say in 30 years, like who even fucking cares?
Nobody.
Who's gonna know about it?
Nobody, because I didn't know.
I mean,
about
the
this until
safe,
you
right?
Brought it up, like I didn't,
Right.
and nor did I care, like
Which is probably pretty bad in itself that, like, the layman doesn't know about it.
because it's a commercial. It's just infuriating because it just.
What
sounds
we
like,
should do
Yeah.
is record an episode
And release it
and then
100 years from now.
and then in 100 years from now, so that way when the podcast like eventually ends, we'll just call it the lost episode, right? And it's
We had one of those before. Yeah.
do we?
Yeah, we haven't. We have a lost episode. It's because we recorded the whole thing and then something happened and we didn't get it. And it was whenever we were talking about poorly describing things, movie titles or something of that nature. Just poorly describing movies, and I would try to guess what that movie is. And it was really funny. It was a really good time. And then we had to like record an episode after that because we lost it, and it wasn't as nearly as funny. But yeah, I have to look up what episode it was. But
That's fun.
I think it's actually called The Lost Game or The Lost something.
It's all yeah. Look at you. What a you have like the worst memory in the world, and somehow you remember that.
And that one
But
was
this would be
just-
the actual lost episode where like, and then oh dude, now my brain's spinning. Okay, so like we just keep going right by boom 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 boom, and we eventually get to like episode 412. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But then you have 1 week 412, and then 414 is the next episode. We literally skip 413.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that way, 100
Build
years
the
from
whole
now,
thing.
400, then you build the lore around
we
it,
gotta
and
do
then
it. We have to do it 100 episodes from now because that way people will have forgotten about it by the time that we get to it. So when
I don't think we could
people
do it
will be
100
like,
years.
Oh,
Because when I'm dead, someone's gonna stop paying for the for the
that's what I'm saying. Like,
hosting
so
on
we
this
would
thing.
literally have to get this episode. We would have to record the
Uh-huh.
episode, the missing episode, and then we would have to put it on some sort of media, like flash drive, CD.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could go for physical old school,
Old school,
old
man.
school, put it on a CD, maybe a flash drive. Hell, that way it even adds to it because who
Dude,
has a
tape deck,
flash-
cassette tape.
That would be fun, just because like I would love to see what it sounds like to listen back to something on a cassette tape 100 years from now. But then we have to put it in a time capsule to keep it safe, wrap it in. We don't have the money, obviously, to put it behind bulletproof glass like these guys, these assholes
Yeah.
over here. But we could put it
Right.
like I know a lot of bubble wrap or something. It'd be a lot of fun. It'd be like a really fun art project. And then like if anybody cared to scroll through the episodes that we have, they're like, oh, I wonder where episode 413 is.
It is a very cool idea and concept, obviously, because we're talking about ourselves here.
Ooh,
Yeah,
and then it's like, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
And then it's like the One Piece, right? We build all this lore around it, this missing episode, right? Then we hide it somewhere, and then on our 50-year anniversary, there's some kind of automated thing that comes out that gets emailed to everybody, right? And it's like they get this whole scavenger hunt, and the first person to find it gets access to episode 413, and like any royalties go to them. And so it's kind of like the One Piece in a sense, but then the episode ends up just being just really bad. We just make a really bad episode. I know.
And that's also the story to that fucking that game, that movie.
Player Ready One.
Ready Player One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so weird because I read that book years before it ever became a movie, and then like it was like one of the 10 like actual non-comic book books I've read. That and The Martian I both read before they were ever announced to be a thing.
Yeah.
And then like they came out. But like,
didn't
did
see
you
anything.
like that movie? Did you like Ready Player One?
It's fine. I didn't have any qualms with that. I didn't know that it like kind of flopped because they had to pay for a lot of licensing, I think, because they spent a lot of money on it, and so like it didn't do nearly as well as they wanted it to. Cool concept, I'll give them that.
I mean, it had Simon
CG.
Pegg, and I think it was directed or produced by Steven Spielberg. So like, it had the names.
The looks of it was great, like all the CG and everything in it didn't look like bad or anything like that. It just
Goro didn't look great.
they all look fine. They look like they all look like
They look like
characters.
video game
They look like
characters,
video
yeah,
game
yeah.
characters, and they
Yeah.
did really well, But
It's fine. I mean, it's fine.
you gotta do, people didn't. It's fine. It's whatever.
I don't know. I would we do it? Would we do 100 episodes or 50 years? Obviously, 100 years wouldn't work. But would you do? I feel like if you did 100 episodes, so it's what 2.5 years almost,
Yeah, so roughly, yeah, somewhere in there.
or 2 years, 50.
Yeah, it's
54
almost
weeks
2
in a
years,
year?
Yeah.
So almost 2 years. I mean, so you could do 120 episodes.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? Till we do the whole thing, or then it like?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're not gonna do it, obviously, but
Got you. All right, don't worry. All right, now.
I still think that if we, I don't know, ending the podcast is like, I just think that it is business. You would just do business as usual.
Yeah, and I that's the thing.
I would not want to do like oh, I'm so glad and get all emotional and
it's so
whatever.
stupid,
Just
but it's like
just don't announce it.
that's what I'm saying. I think that I would love to do it that way too. My
Like
thing is, I
30
don't
people
have
would
any.
give a shit anyways.
I don't have any like will or want to quit doing this because it's
Sure.
so built into like our schedules nowadays that it would just feel weird to have a whole free day, a free night to not do anything. And it's like half the time we already have free nights, you know. So it's like there's no reason to stop. You know, it's not like we have any kind of obligation to anybody out there as far as like ad sponsors or whatnot. We're just doing this for the shits and giggles of it, you know? So it's like,
Yeah.
but if we were going to inevitably end it, yeah, it would just be like you'd have episode 413, 414 would be missing, 415, sorry, we'd do episode 412, missing 413, do episode 414, and then there just wouldn't be a 415. And people are like, what happened? Where's the episode? People would know as soon as we didn't post an episode after.
I think that
The
it would
last
take.
episode? Yeah.
There would be. It would be probably like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock on a Friday. So I'm like, hey, is there any episode? There would be a couple people that would probably text me and be like, hey, what's up? But it wouldn't be until maybe a week later because some people don't listen till Monday.
Yeah.
And
if we
it would
miss
be
2 weeks in a row, you guys know the pod is done. That's pretty much it. Like if we miss 2 weeks in a row, you know that the pod's done. And
I mean, I feel like at this point, if you know, you know. But like, if we miss a week, we've never missed a week. Like it has never happened. And like
that would be the funny part of it is that we wouldn't do episode 14. We would record one but never release it, and then we do episode 414, and people would be like, "Oh shit, they're back." You know, they must have just had some weird kind of f up or something like that. And then we wouldn't come back the next episode after that, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's really done." So that'd be funny.
You know, a couple weeks ago, I guess this was actually back in May. We're catching up on stuff, but there was a huge security data breach for the Ring doorbell.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
And sometimes you see things on, social media. What it would have been like TikTok for you, but for me, it was just like a random Instagram reel that I saw. This was like fucking going on a month ago. And it was just like, if you have a Ring doorbell, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, go into all your settings and see all these things. And like, lo and behold, there was like three email addresses. There was 3 folders, basically. There was access. Someone had basically breached into the Ring servers and was able to access my Ring camera.
Yeah, instead of them sending out like a fun little push
and no one knew about it, dude.
Instead of like sending out like a fun push notification like, hey users, I know, or even an email and said, hey guys, I know you guys really
value your privacy
and whatnot, but hey, there's been a small security breach. Instead of doing that, they were just like, well, somebody talks about it on like TikTok, I'm sure everybody will see it. I still haven't heard anything about it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm just glad that we can trust these corporations to like really secure our information and make sure that nothing happened, and at least let us know if something was to happen. Right? There would never be a situation in which a giant global corporation had a huge breach of information and then just didn't tell people about it. That wouldn't.
But I guess at the end of the day, is it their responsibility to inform you?
Yeah, I think it kind of is.
But I'm sure that in the terms and services somewhere, there's some fucking shady wording in there that says that they don't have to.
Which is another thing that I think we need to legally broach at some point, right? The fact that like the reason, like, because that's the okay.
You mean accountability?
If you go,
what's that?
To your anybody out there in the world, anybody out in the wild, right? And you're like, hey, read the terms and services, and they don't tell you and they don't tell you the fact that like they're super long on purpose because that way you don't read everything, right? And you miss a few things, and all of a sudden you're like, legally they're not liable for anything because that's in the terms and services, right? Everybody knows the fucking scam, right? So like I think we need to approach that. We need to do something about the whole idea that like, oh, they aren't held accountable because they put it in the terms and services, and you press
the entire point is so that you can be manipulated. It's like when you log in to play. When Borderlands 4 comes out, right? 2K has a user agreement at the very beginning, and you're not going to read it. No. You're not going to read it.
I've never.
But what's funny is
user agreement. Yeah, I'll say.
But what's funny is there's so many games of that have that sort of idea.
Oh, yeah.
Where like you remember when you could. I know it sounds old, but you could just like turn your game on and then play it.
Yeah. You mean like when was it connected to the internet?
The credits in like the terms and services were like hidden away in an option. And honestly, like I am more comfortable with never seeing it and just it's there. Like if you play the game, then you're agreeing to it automatically, rather than assuming that I'm going to read it, because I'm not going to read it. No one's going to read it. No one reads it, dude. No one reads it.
Exactly. And
they do it on purpose.
Yeah. So it's man, it's just. And then we've been cucked into believing like, no, it's okay. The corporation's allowed to do this because like we said yes to all of it. We allowed them to. We whenever we signed up for TikTok, we said yeah, you could have all my data information. When we signed up for Twitter, the same thing.
But like but the thing is, okay, like the TikTok stuff always annoyed the shit out of me, and we fucking beat it to death because it was just a fucking blatant lie. Like it had nothing to. It was because they didn't have it's because they didn't have access.
I don't know if we ever talked about it whenever the trials and stuff were going on, but it was like they're doing the exact same thing that every other single, even hell, you could Google a company right now. They're doing it. Every single other corporation and company.
Hey, by the way,
was taking data information and selling it to third parties. So it's not like
there is an option on your iPhone if anytime you update it, you need to go in. There's an Apple Intelligence thing, and you need to turn it off.
I mean, I guess
you have to manually go in there and turn it off because it's another one of those things. But again, it's just like,
why do I care? What are you gonna?
I mean, yeah, who are you? But it's so bad at this point to where now between porn and like GTA, I think I can't verify this, but I'm pretty sure like this thing that I read was that GTA 6 is going to require you to log into your.
You brought up it last week, about that it would.
I think it was in the group chat.
It might have been the group chat. Like you have to.
Yeah, so like again, it's going to have a 2K launcher, right? And in order to play the game, when you install it, you will have to log into your 2K. But before then, you have to go into the 2K website on your thing, and you have to upload your fucking driver's license.
And it's the implication.
Fuck you.
Because
first of all,
it's about the implications, right?
Yeah,
the
implications. Well, we're not gonna know, dude. You don't need to know. Okay, don't even get me started on the idea. Like listen, I get it. It's just like you're full of shit when you say
kids,
like
buddy.
Bullshit.
It's the safety of the kids.
Bullshit.
This has always been about keeping those.
I would
safe.
be so much more acceptable of these fucking bullshit things. I didn't say that I agree with them. Again, acceptance and agreeing are two different things, right? Like I accept it, I don't agree with it. As opposed to like if you came out and said the actual reason why you want people to do it, okay, like just be upfront about it because either way, but there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do is not play, which I have no interest in playing GTA 6 anyways. But like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But also, like, when it comes to porn, you don't need to know what I watch, government.
Yeah, I know. And that's
like, you don't need to know. It's not your fucking business.
It really isn't.
Because I'm a grown ass man.
And it's again, but then they get to hide behind that little veil, right? Because it's for the safety. Now, Alex, you don't understand. It's for the safety of the kids. Okay, it's for safety of the kids. We can't have them kids looking at titties. Okay. And that would be bad. Think about the trauma it would do if these kids saw titties and vaginas, right? If they saw these anuses, can't have that, all right?
Yeah, I saw that shit when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I'm fine.
And they were, because that's the thing, too. Like, anybody could buy porn mags back in the day, right?
That was the forbidden fruit, bro. First time you saw a naked woman, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, and it helped a lot of people discover their sexuality, seeing it like 8, 9, 10 years old. And like, maybe they're looking at the guy, maybe they're looking at the girl, who knows? But it's like... Yeah. It's this idea, and it's all about control, and it really is, and it's like,
and it's the part now is that it's so out in the open and blatant, and they're not hiding behind it, and
you're gonna go and cake up, Mrs. Fantastic, right? You're gonna go cake her up in the new Marvel Rivals game, right? Gonna give her cakes, but then we're gonna have an issue.
Who?
Miss Fantastic, whatever the fuck her name is, the Invisible Lady.
Invisible Woman?
Yeah, whatever the fuck her name is. You're gonna cake her up. You're gonna make her look hot as hell in the game.
Sue Storm?
Yeah, is that a real name? I thought there was already a Storm in the
That's Storm. Sue Storm's her real name.
That feels like a ripoff.
Johnny Storm's her brother. Well, it's Sue Richards at this point.
You got fucking so many Storms, dude. You can't.
Storm is a character. That's Aurora Monroe. Sue Storm is the Invisible Woman in the Fantastic Four.
There's just too much there, man.
No, it's not. It's simple.
So many names to remember.
Oh my God, people have names and code names. How dare they?
Yeah. And they got secret identities and shit. It's like, just be honest with yourself, dude. Come on. I loved it when Robert Downey Jr. was like, I am Iron Man, right? He was honest.
But he's not. He's Tony Stark.
No, he's Doctor Doom now. So
Oh yeah,
That's the thing that's eventually going to happen. It's going to eventually come out, dude, and we'll talk about it
dude.
then. But
Dude, it's so crazy because like what was that Comic-Con 2 years ago? Last year, not this past one, but the one before that, and it was just like everyone's like, ah, oh, and it was 15 minutes, literally like it was like this. It was pro wrestling where like somebody comes back, makes this huge return, and then like everyone's like, oh shit, it's the talk of the town, and then everyone like calms down from the high and they're like, this is terrible, like holy shit, like this is going to be awful,
yeah,
and then like when that movie comes out, whenever it may be.
was it
There's
not this
going
one?
to be
Was Doctor Doom not in this Fantastic Four? No, Silver Surfer. That's right. Okay, sorry. When is
a
he? I
chick
don't even
Silver
know
Surfer.
when he's supposed to like jump in at some
He's
point.
doomed, dude. I think he's in a post credit. Not him, because like you'd have to pay him, but I think someone
Hey.
that is in the Doom outfit is in the post credit.
just
I haven't
like-
seen Fantastic Four. I don't know.
And a realization. What's the whole like? Is the MCU still connected? Because that was their whole thing. Is like they always had like Thanos. They always had that big bad lumen in the background. And then I remember that whole shit that happened with like Kang, the Conqueror's actor, and like I don't know what happened there. I didn't watch the trials. I don't know if he's guilty or not guilty, whatever. Okay, but then it was like that all went down, and then he was supposed to be the big bad, I think. But then like what's the new
I
thing?
did see.
don't
I think
know.
Mike. Shout out Mike. You look good in that shirt. I think he sent me something like a month or so ago, and it was. I just want to go on record.
Okay,
Like at
Plead the
least.
fifth. Yeah,
No. At least 2 years ago, maybe even longer, before Moon Knight.
yeah.
I went on record that said that Kevin Feige was a fucking moron and was no better than Benioff and Weiss was with Game of Thrones. And that at that time, the MCU was no worse than the worst that Fox had done. I thought that shit was already taking a downturn before then, and it just got so bad. And that nobody was holding him accountable for the fucking shit decisions he was making in the MCU. And now people are like, you know what? This guy kind of doesn't fucking know what he's doing or what he's talking about. Yeah. But anyways, he made some
the coattails of like Endgame and Infinity War and like that whole saga.
Sort of just like the same people that did Game of Thrones was riding off the coattails of George R. R. Martin. Yeah. Anyways, he made some sort of comment about, well, like to retroactively be like, yeah, well, we sort of realized that Kang wasn't that big of a big deal, and it's just like, motherfucker, you don't know shit, dude. Like you don't know shit.
Dude,
like you're so fucking annoying, and I get it. It's PR speak, and you got to save your own ass. But it's just like you suck, dude. Kevin Feige fucking sucks, bro. He's terrible.
You're a bad guy. I don't like.
Oh my god, he's so annoying.
He's happy. You're talking about Happy, right, from the Iron Man series? The very, very.
That's not Kevin Feige.
Who is that then? Who am I thinking?
That's Jon Favreau.
Holy fucking shit! I didn't realize there were two different people. I don't know who Kevin Feige is in.
He's the guy who's in charge of the MCU.
Dude sucks.
He's the guy that wears that stupid baseball cap all the time.
He sucks. I don't like him.
Look at him. Google him. You're like, yeah, he's a dumb face.
Yeah. Didn't Kevin Favreau do a bunch of shit though?
That's Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
Are you thinking of Kevin James?
How do you spell Fagan? Is that how you spell his name?
Feige maybe.
Yeah, Yeah, that guy sucks. He's got a hateable face. Like I hate his face,
dude.
I don't mean to be mean to this guy like that I know nothing about. And
Sure.
He's really rich and
I can't wait for Marvel to get a hold of this podcast. They're gonna be like, send a cease and desist.
But then it's like, what am I gonna?
That'd be awesome.
This is fair.
Bro, that'd be awesome.
This is fair use.
That'd be awesome because then our notoriety fucking skyrockets.
I guess, or we just get sued into oblivion and we fucking never heard from again. They send the Pinkertons to come out.
I think it's technically defamation, right?
I don't know, dude. You could say people suck. That's fine.
I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, dude.
I don't think you can anymore.
Before we jump to the next thing, I was thinking about like earlier in the episode, we were talking about the how romanticized and like kind of cartoonish we feel about like the 60s, 70s, like the 50s, like early time before when they first started making.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that is true. They do it feels like a very cartoon time to be alive. But then I can't imagine being alive in like the 50s and 60s and like seeing like people like smushed to death by like shit because they had very poor like working regulations. And I'm just thinking about like, because in my mind, a really cool movie concept would be the idea of like doing that where you take like the cartoonish nature of like silent films,
like
and,
Buster Keaton,
like Charlie Chaplin, and like all this shit, like where they're doing their own stunts and whatnot. But the movie is like half of that. But then the other half is like behind the scenes.
Final Destination.
Yeah, kind of like shit where like people are just getting fucking crushed by shit falling over and like There's the whole like last podcast just did a huge episode on the molasses flood of like the 60s or something. I don't know fucking, but there's like giant tanker of molasses exploded and like killed a bunch of people in like Brooklyn or whatever. And it was like, I'd never heard about it. And it's just like having those horrific events, but like from the limelight of today, right? I think it'd be cool, like movie concept. I don't know, but it's just also like it's kind of like a weird, like I could hear like the old timey music of like BioShock era music where it's like, and like, people just like fucking dying left and right, getting decapitated because shit's just like crazy. Cars like are incredibly dangerous. You know, people getting run over all the time. There's no brakes on these things. You know, horses trampling people to death.
In a weird sort of like similar vein, like the Addams Family, right? Well, how do you feel about the Addams Family?
I don't want to say.
They're fine.
I already have my hot take of the day. I can't have another one.
No, I mean it's fine. Like you can not like that.
About it. It's fine.
Okay, so like Wednesday's out, whatever. I don't give a shit about it, but it's timely because if you ever look at like the psychology and sort of like the breakdown of characters within the Addams Family and realize like how fucking bizarre it is, it's kind of like eye opening because you know Gomez and Morticia, right? They like the whole premise is like they're weird, right? Okay,
it's
they're
just
weird.
a God's family, yeah, and they just like go to like a rich.
But when but when you look at it and when they were created, okay, they were created they started as a newspaper, like funny
strip?
pages, right?
Gotcha.
Yes, and then like it became a show in the '60s. But like they're weird, but if you notice, they love each other.
Yeah, like madly in love, like they're
madly in love, but
other.
also they're very fucking involved with their kids' lives, right? They're like always hanging out with their kids. Hold on. They're always hanging out with their kids. They're always doing all this shit. And if they're not hanging out with their kids, they're talking about their kids. But like that was considered fucking weird in the 60s because most people in the 60s and 70s were married, but they did not like their spouses. But they were so committed and, you know, divorce rates were high. And like the whole point was to show like it's kind of a commentary on like they're weird, but it's because they love each other and they're very involved parents and they love their children and like but society thinks that's weird. So it was like a weird quasi trying to normalize fucking not liking your kids and not liking your
there was like an episode or a strip where it was like the family, they come to the family's house like, we get out of town, we don't like you, and like, oh sorry, is this the whole like headless thing and all the goth stuff, like, no, you spending too much time with your kids, we fucking hate that, and you guys love each other, get the fuck out of town. And
because like, every iteration of every time they've done a TV show or a movie or an animated, like that entire theme is still there.
Yeah,
they're
love their kids,
like,
dude. Yeah, so
they
fucking one thing about them, it's like, yeah, they love their kids.
They love their kids, and then
those guys,
you know,
fuck a lot.
Gomez fucking is obsessed with his hot goth mommy, like all that shit.
Have you seen Lady Demetrius or whatever the fuck her name is from the
Resident Evil
franchise?
Yeah,
dude,
but like it's just so weird when you talk about like going back and looking at those sort of things. The commentary on the Addams Family being weird, like what's thinly veiled is like, yeah, they're just like goth people and like super into like darkness and shit. But it's really like, oh, these people fucking love the shit out of each other, and they're a happy fucking family.
Like kind of
which is weird, guys. It's so weird. You're not supposed to be happy.
This is gross, dude. These people love each other. Get the hell out of town, dude.
If you could pick one muscle, right, to maximize,
I don't want to flex her, but I want to, you know,
what would it be?
Oh man, I've been thinking about it. I think my grip strength, either like that or like my back muscles.
Yeah, because we understand that you have like a little baby grip.
Dude, my hands hurt so bad, dude. My hands hurt. If I would switch, because like I
feel like your wedding ring is really big.
It is. It's like kind of. I need to get it in different.
Like
size,
it seems like.
But I like it.
Disproportionate to your finger.
I guess I don't know, man. It's my wedding my wedding ring there. I don't take it off, so you know.
I take it off when I get in the shower. That's it.
I don't even take it off the shower, but
my fucking wife takes it off all the time, dude. Christina takes it off all the time.
Yeah. It's just a thing. We already know that we're married, right? We don't need it.
Yeah, but I wear mine with pride, dude.
Yeah, it's fine.
I take marriage seriously.
Well. I do too. I just don't. No, it's a whatever.
Speaking of loving the shit out of your wife.
Yeah, dude. Love my wife. Anyway, I don't know, man. I think grip strength.
You're fixing to like go off on a different path there.
I think grip strength would be super handy because I'm thinking in terms of like usefulness, dude. If I could be able to like hang for days, I think it'd be great, right? If I could do pull up and chin ups like with my back muscles, like so I'm thinking like, I think my grippers, I think is what I would go with.
So you want your mandibles to have like
Yeah,
super
dude, I
strength.
want like super. I'm gonna crush.
But is your grip? Now listen,
Okay.
is your grip based off your forearms or your
I don't
fingers?
know, man. I don't because you don't have a whole lot of muscle in like your hands. So
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
it
it
would be your
has to be.
forearm strength, right?
It has to be like
Because like
hold
when
on.
you bend, like you can feel your muscles right here.
Yeah, I think it is like.
So it's
Are grips tendon based?
I don't.
Because like if you
I mean,
think about it, like
you have bones and you have muscles in your
because like
hands.
your brain, you're just a marionette of a person, right? And so like your brain, the whole point of like your fingers moving is because like you're doing the tendons in the back of your hand, and they go all the way up to your elbow and shit. And like there's this whole like cluster of things. So it's like technically speaking, like do you have muscles that do this, right? Or is it like, are these like static? We need a doctor.
Well, I mean, you have bones and you have tendons,
Yes, but
and
like
like your tendons are connected to the muscles, which control it.
I don't think you can train tendons though, right?
You can,
It's just muscles. I don't think you can train like tendons are just static.
and they snap.
Dude, I'll throw up, man. I can't even think about. Oh, that's so disgusting, man. Just thinking about. I did
Like an
back
Achilles?
whenever I first started running, dude. I pulled a muscle. I pulled my soleus muscle, and I felt a pop. And I was convinced that I had tore my Achilles, and because I felt like the snaking up of my leg, and I was like, I don't even want to look, man, because I'm pretty sure that something just fucking snapped. And if I look back there and I have just like this wrinkle of tendon flesh, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna pass out. I legitimately almost passed out from thinking about it. Like as I was like in the last like half of my quarter mile of my run, and I'm just like I hurt myself, and you're telling me to just pass out, dude. That'd be so funny. Honestly, that'd be the funniest thing to ever see. Like you just come across my corpse laying on the
Just
ground.
imagine you're running, you think about it, and you start getting like woozy headed, and you end up tripping and smacking a fucking mailbox, and then you're just like laying there.
That's a fucking bit and a half, man. That's so funny to me. But like, but I'm just thinking like, I guess because I think I have a grip strength again, and it's like. Is the muscle just there to like for endurance, right? I don't know, man. I got to go Google. Do some.
I'm honestly a little disappointed you didn't say your cock muscle.
Everybody knows it. I do want to know like what is it? I'm gonna have to go look it up like what it is. But like they say it's not a muscle. They say it's not a bone. You know, it's like it's
Cartilage.
hard. Yeah, it's a cartilage. It's a cartilage. It's cartilage. But it's like and it fills up with blood. But I don't understand how it all works. And like why is it so hard? You know what I mean? Like how do I make it harder? Like it's like
To penetrate.
I get that. I understand
for procreation,
that.
dude.
I understand that aspect of it, but it's like you're gonna sit here and tell me it's not a muscle, but I could definitely flex it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know what it is. I'm not a doctor. Somebody Google me. I'm gonna go Google it.
Someone Google me.
Somebody send me some Googles, okay? I don't fucking know, dude.
Do you think that if a meteor hits your house, you should get to name the meteor?
I think it would be a tragedy if you do not get to name the meteor. Yeah, if what you're left with in the rubble and ruins is the meteor that destroyed your house and your home, then, yeah, I think that at the very least I should be able to name the meteor what I want to name it, right? Or at least name it after my house or home or me. You know, I think it'd be.
But it didn't hit. But you're not a meteor though.
I know, but they name all the meteors, and I think that like if it destroyed my house, I feel like I
wonder what the insurance is on that on like meteor insurance.
and that's the
It doesn't
thing. I think at the end of the day, if we're gonna rail on corporations again, it's the fact that like insurance will be like, actually, you don't have meteor coverage, so we don't cover this. Your house is.
That's called an act of God.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is he the one hurling stones at our Earth?
Yeah,
okay.
dude. Yeah,
that's fucked up.
He's just like like when you ever to pick up a rock and fucking skip it.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing in the universe. Just
skip harder, my guy, please.
Skip harder.
Throw something bigger, please, buddy. But
he did that one time. He killed the fucking dinosaurs.
Hey, I'm gonna say just like make it quick. That's what I got to say. You know, just like get it out of here. I think I saw this story.
Those videos, I'll get you. Hold on, just a second. Those videos where you see it's like, what will you do in this situation when it's just like. It's like a video, like an AI video of like, a meteor like hitting the Earth. What do you do in the situation? Fucking nothing.
I either run towards it or just stand there and wait till it hits me.
What are you gonna do? You got like fucking 4 minutes before collapse, before you are vaporized.
Yeah, and it's honestly like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know? Are you gonna outrun it? You're gonna die because I think
it's something you think you could do, probably.
I mean, I don't want to get into it. I could probably outrun a little bit of it, yeah, but I wouldn't get very far.
Fucking can't.
But no, the whole one is that like okay, meteor hits the Earth. All right, the whole scenario is like everybody's like, perseverance of humanity and whatnot. Like, oh, you got to survive and keep going. No, fuck it. Why would you want to live in the world that's now going to be like in a nuclear winter? You're going to have to struggle to survive. Like, I'm already struggling hard enough, and it's already really hard just to live.
Well, I think you don't have to deal with corporations at that point.
Yeah.
So you get more of a fair stake at things.
I guess.
It's all about what you can do and not what someone
you have to do so
regulates.
much prepping, and it's like you got so much, and it's too much work. It's like it's going to be a really shitty 10, 20, 50 years. And it's like, okay, to get to what? To the point where you can like live on the surface again? Okay, that's going to be super fun. And like then you're going to have like, it's just too much. Just I would run towards it is what I say.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not the savior of humanity. Everybody want it. I'm sorry.
I don't think anyone would
place their bets on me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Good. I don't know why you would. Yeah.
I feel like if it came down to it and we put out a vote of like, who do you want to run the new civilization, me or you? I feel like it's overwhelmingly going to be me.
Actually, I think people would be
you would vote for me.
I think people would be far happier if I did it, just because nobody would be able to take it seriously. We would just be having a good time hanging out. And would we survive very long? Probably not. But we would have a good time.
You would vote for me.
Yeah. Just because I'd be like, hey, you run this shit. I don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't fucking do it. So I guess a vote for me would be a vote for you at the end of the day. Because if I got it, I'd just be like, here you go. Sure.
Anyway, so what happened with this? The meteors hits my house.
Yeah, dude. There's this family in Georgia. It's kind of crazy we didn't hear more about it. Because like family's just chilling out in Georgia. It happened like fucking I think in June, if I'm not mistaken. At the beginning of June, something like that. And there's it's middle of the day, meteor comes crashing to the roof. I don't know if it destroyed the house, but I would assume that it did some damage. Right, insurance isn't going to cover it unless is it covered by is insurance covering an act of God, or is that just like meh?
It depends on if you have the coverage.
That's fair. You're the insurance guy. You know this. So
I'm not the insurance guy. I don't fucking know anything about insurance.
What's cool about it,
other than it's a scam.
Yeah, it's absolutely a scam.
And it's a for-profit business only.
Is that the meteor is actually 4.56 billion years old, right?
Like, how do you know?
Which is apparently 20 million years older than the Earth itself. So that's pretty cool. But how do they know?
How do you fucking
science, buddy? I'm not going to argue with the science. They say it's 4.56 billion years old. I'm going to say, good job, guys. You solved it. Because I don't know. How am I going to prove that it's not?
Carbon dating.
Yeah, and it's science says that like it's the whole thing with like decaying rates and whatnot, and like carbon and like how it has a very steady decay rate, and so like then you bump it up against like what you're looking at and like what its decay rate is. It's a whole thing, dude. They know what they're doing. Okay, if you're sitting
damage kill rate,
you sound like my dad right now, fucking talking about like carbon dating, like they're scientists. They know. Okay, they probably do. If they don't, then our whole society crumbles if like we start questioning science, guys. You can see it happening. You all saw it happen. Sorry.
Well, they say that's what they say if you start questioning religion, but like I don't believe it.
I say question religion, don't question science. Actually, no, you can question. You can question
I think
science.
You should question.
How we got here was questioning science. I think you should absolutely question religion, because if you're not questioning religion, that's how they get you in those Catholic back rooms with the preachers. So hey, and if you don't want to, you want to make jokes about it, stop making it happen.
I forget who said it. And this is not me going in on religion or anything like
Okay.
that, but someone said it was like, if you take science and you take all the scientific text and you take all the religious text, right?
Yeah.
And you take them all, you round them up. Like obviously this scenario is not possible, but you take them all, right? And you fucking do away with both of them, right?
Yeah.
And whatever. And then in 200 years, which one proves to be true?
Probably the science one, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's kind of like
provable.
Yeah, it's kind of like already happened,
Right. And then, but you can't prove the one thing, and it's just like whatever. That's neither here nor there. But it's just like, I think questioning is healthy. It's just that the internet has ruined people's ability to accept answers.
That's the thing, right? You can question, absolutely, right? I have no issue with people questioning science whatsoever. But when you receive the answer from multiple sources that have been cited and are proven,
Yeah, but what's their agenda, bud?
Okay. Agendas aside, generally speaking, science and scientists are generally speaking straight down the middle. They don't have a biases one way or the other because they just like science. Right?
Everybody has a bias.
I guess, sure, but I would like to think that, like, for the most part, scientists are just like, they just like the study of science.
Humanity has slowly devolved into confirmation bias.
Yes. But I will say, anytime that you do have scientists that are biased, it comes out. It's proven, right? Because anytime that a scientist is biased, normally, like, let's take vaccines for one little fun little example, right?
Whoa,
Yeah,
you gonna go there, bud?
What happened there was like one scientist who was extremely biased against vaccines. What happened? Oh, well, he caused the entire bullshit that we see today with, like, vaccines and everybody believing that they're not healthy and whatnot. And, like, yes, whatever the way you feel about vaccines or whatever, but it's all stemmed from the fact that this one dude who was extremely biased has been since proven wrong, and all of his scientific studies that he did were incredibly biased. So it's like the system has a way of working out the people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I guess if not to sort of take like a small exit here, I would be, again, talking about like user agreements and stuff. I would be more acceptable of questioning science and whatever if people also took that same approach to religion.
Yeah. I play devil's
advocate
advocate.
Because everybody wants to be like, well, science this, okay, what about religion? Because it's like,
we just gotta have faith.
Fuck that. That's not measurable, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's not measurable.
Yeah, dude. So I have an issue with it. Religion, to me, I don't know what it is, dude, and I don't know if my brain's broken, but I will never, and I'm saying it now, I will never, with absolute certainty, have a religion whatsoever, or the capacity to believe in religion, because, like, even
never is a strong word.
If I die and go to the pearly gates and dude's there waiting on me, I'll still be like, hey, go fuck yourself, because I don't give a shit, right? It's to me, my brain does not work that way, right? If there is some kind of benevolent creator out there, right, he's a piece of shit, because you look at the state of the world, he just sat back and watched and he had his hand in his lap, right? Like, cancer killing kids and shit like that. Like, there's no part of me that think that there's some kind of masterful plan. I think that's the way you're coping with shit, right? That's just your way. I don't mean to go so hard. I apologize.
I mean, I did.
But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't give a shit, dude. Either he's an asshole or he doesn't exist. And in my book, either one of those, I don't give a shit. If I have to go to, if there's a hell, cool. I'm going to go roast a little bit. I'll spend eternity roasting. Hopefully I don't think it. But I don't give a shit, dude. I just don't.
If hell exists, I don't think it's hot.
Dude,
I think it's cold.
You said it, not me. I think it's. You said it, not me. So.
What did I say?
Dude, hell is always going to be hot, okay? That's the one thing about
I think it's cold.
Hell.
I think it's cold.
You know what's funny is I'm actually listening to a book. I've got so much going on. I'm reading two books at the same time, technically speaking. I'm only listening. I'm listening to one, reading the other. The one I'm listening to, they go into hell, but it's in a video game, and it turns out it's nice, temperate, and nice little climate.
I'm telling you, I think that hell is more like fucking Niflheim. Okay. Is it Niflheim?
Or it's just like Niflheim is the elves like land, right? It was like kind of pretty and whatnot. So
Helheim. I'm stupid. It's Helheim, idiot.
Yeah, which is like just a vast expanse of nothingness. Yeah.
No, Helheim is very cold.
Yeah. If we want to, okay, so say we go down this thought experiment and like we do go to hell. Like, I think it'd be really cool if like you get to hell and it turns out
a fucking oasis.
It was just like an oasis. Just like
it's like a party zone.
You get down
fucking
and Lucifer's like, yo, what up, my guy? How's it going, bro?
Fucking what up, dude?
You will not believe what they're saying about you up there. It is crazy what they're saying about you up there. And like, I honestly, he's like, nah, dude, it's fine. It's chill.
You're like, nah, dude, it's a vibe, bro.
They get down here and they see the beaches and shit. They see me out here surfing, dude. They're like so caught off guard. It's honestly, I love that look on your face right now. And I'm just like, dude, you might be the coolest person I've ever met in my life. But it's also like, yeah, dude, don't worry. You are in hell, in fact, and it is, you did bad, buddy. But hey, we're going to surf some waves, spend a couple thousand years down here, and we're going to get back up there, and we're going to fucking figure it out, okay? You're going to be a better person next time. And you're just like, dude, hell fucking yeah. You give me that experience, I'll be Christian all day, dude. I'll be Christian all day. That sounds like an awesome
But you go to hell because you're anti-Christian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what it's all about. But like when you get to hell, it turns out that like it's all about just like figuring shit out, like resetting yourself, finding your center. Yeah. And then realizing, like, yeah, you're right, dude. I did fuck up, and I should have been a better person up there. Let me get back up there and try it out. And that's like a few thousand years passes. You go back up top, and you're like, he was right, man. I do need to be a better person, you know? And that's like, that's better than you get to heaven, and you're already, he's like, yo, dude.
It's golden roads and shit, right? Like, isn't the Wizard of Oz like basically what heaven is?
I guess, dude, but it just sounds so boring, man. It sounds so, and if you telling me I can't fuck in heaven, I can't curse in heaven, I can't drink in heaven, I can't fucking party in heaven. It
sounds like it sounds boring.
That sounds, okay, and again, I don't mean to go so hard on you guys, but like that sounds boring as fucking shit, right? Then you got the, hey, where we're at it, we got the Mormons out there, right? Fucking, what is their heaven, dude? What is that even? It's you think Christian heaven's gonna be boring? They can't even like fucking look at a booby. I think I don't know anything about the religion, right? What is other religions? Who else can we piss off?
Well, I'm going to piss you off because
Okay, please,
you know,
we gotta get off the subject.
I failed to mention it a couple weeks ago, but I just want everyone to know that there was a situation very close to my house. Right, I got one of those Ring notifications. We talked about Ring earlier, and you know, like sometimes you get those just like, oh my god, you guys hear that noise? And it's just like whatever, right?
It's
You
not
hear that
even
sort of shit.
sometimes. That's all it is. It's like, oh, dude, you guys.
I had to turn it off, and it's like, guys, what was that explosion, man?
It's
Anyways,
4th of
I don't know.
July. It's like,
Yeah, right.
come on, guys, let's be smart.
Or like, what's going on at this house? There's ambulance everywhere. Like, don't worry about it. Anyways,
Mind your own fucking business. I want to say
on the
time.
Ring doorbell, no,
Yeah.
at notification push thing I got, which is, I mean, like 2 streets down from my house. Jacob failed to put his money where his mouth was. Right, I
shit.
gave him an ample opportunity to come to my house and fight a fucking bear because there was a bear.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
There was a brown bear
Touche.
chilling,
Yeah.
hanging out, and fucking pussy was just like, nah, dude. I don't even think
wanna
he said
take
it.
a
I think
second
you no
here.
sold this shit out of it.
I want to take a second here,
And everyone was just like roasting your ass.
I want to take a second here and take a victory lap because if I'm not, I don't know if we said it on the podcast or in the group chat, but I made the comment that like, there's bears in Knoxville, and you said there's absolutely not fucking bears in Knoxville, and here I am with 100 different examples of bears being in Knoxville.
100?
There's 100 out there. I could easily find 3 or 4 out there right now, which equals
couldn't
it's a small
find
sample
10.
size. Small sample size, but if you extrapolate that, there's probably at least 100 examples out there that I won't be able to find 100 because it's confirmation biases and whatnot.
So are you going to concede and say that you can't fight a bear?
I'm not going to concede and say I can't find a bear. I just didn't have the time to get down there and drop what I was doing. I don't remember what I was doing. I probably had a lot going on at the time, and I couldn't get down there to fight the bear.
You don't do shit.
Not just that, like it probably was gone by the time I would have gotten there, and that would have been very disappointing to me. So, you tell that bear, you give him a time and a date, and I'll meet him there at the time and the date, and then we'll fight.
Dude, was it, I swear, was it Tekken? Tekken 3? There's a fucking grizzly bear. I know that there's a kangaroo.
There's animals in all sorts of the Tekken games. Like, yeah.
Dude,
That
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
which grizzly bear was
Or was
that?
it Soul
Grizzly
Calibur?
bear. No, that's not Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur was all about the big titty, like medieval chicks.
They had the really cool.
like Ivy and stuff.
The first time I saw the chain sword, like where it turns into like a whip or whatever.
Cervantes. Kuma is his, no, Kuma?
Kuma was
That
a
his name?
tiger guy. I thought.
No, Kuma is the bear,
That
bro.
doesn't sound like a bear name. Yeah, now that I think about it.
Yeah, look at Kuma, dude.
Oh, dude, Kuma. Yeah, that's Kuma from One Piece. He's got the bear paws on his hand. Yeah. So, okay.
So they stole it from Tekken.
No, they
Tekken was
Tekken stole it
first.
from One Piece.
Tekken was first.
I've got to Google it now. When did the character come out though?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Well, Tekken. Okay.
Kuma-
Jesus Christ.
Kuma in Tekken. I got the Tekken fan thing picked up. Okay, so he was early in. He was Tekken 2. Yeah,
Tekken 2
was his first appearance. When did
1995.
Release date?
95.
95. Okay, so Taken 2 was in 95. One
Okay.
Piece came out. Oh, okay. Well,
No.
I think you do win this conversation because they came out in 1997, 2 years later.
Yeah, and then probably that character that you're talking about.
He didn't come in.
Kuma.
Yeah, he's like he's later on.
So who's
there.
first? Who's first?
But he's also not a bear. He just has bear paws. Like that's his whole thing. Like not even bear paws. Like his.
Did he kill Kuma from Tekken?
No, but his name is Kuma. He was very tragic. He's got a very tragic backstory. All he's doing is trying to save his daughter, and like he turned himself into a robot. Spoilers, because he wanted to save his daughter, and that was the only way.
Is One Piece over?
No, dude, it's still going, dude. I don't know when we're gonna get the ending, but it's building.
Did you hear that?
In it. Dude, Loki's in it right now. They're in.
Dude, did you hear that?
No, I didn't. What was it?
My doorbell just rang.
Oh.
I gotta go.